Hi, welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I'm Terry. This is not Jen. I have been abandoned, as is becoming traditional. So until Jen gets here, you are stuck with me. And I think I will start by answering Gunsky's question. No, I did not come up with a title that only you would get for the purposes of baiting you into watching. You should always be watching, regardless of the title. No, I just I couldn't think of anything. So it was like thinking about Mitchell and Webb, and like, you know what? Numberwang is actually perfect because I've got to put the episode number in the title. So that is why I went with Numberwang. And now that that's out of the way, hello to Gunsky, to Mike, and to Blue Eyed Scream. I think that's everyone in chat. So yes. Since I am absolutely dreadful at hosting on my own, I am going to do the classic, and it's a Pokemon article. Honestly, I got nothing to talk about until someone with more interesting, better conversation ability than me decides. So now I just need to figure out how to share my screen. I think it's this. Share screen, there it is. And we will go window, almost in here. There we go. And yes, hello, Johnny Hellcat. It goes poorly because, as you can see, Jen is not here yet. So I am going to teach you all about Pokemon because I got nothing else. So let's see which Pokemon. Let's go with my favorite. Let's go with Shedinja. And let's find. Here we go. There's something I can actually read now. So, as you will note, Shedinja is god awful. It's only in the ZU tier. Um, it has one hit point, which is why I love it. I think this is the absolute funniest thing in the world. The rest of its stats are just garbage, but not. The whole point is one hit point and Wonder Guard. So Wonder Guard means it can only be damaged by super effective hits and indirect damage. So even though it only has one hit point, it is immune to basically everything except for Dark, Fire, Flying, Ghost, and Rock. And as you can see, they've got a suggestion here for how to use this ridiculous Pokemon. They say toxic, protect toxic. Then you can either have Will-O-Wisp, Swords Dance, or Shadow Sneak, Poltergeist, or Shadow Sneak. The item is Heavy Duty Boots. The idea behind the Heavy Duty Boots is Stealth Rock and Spikes is one of the few ways you can actually get around Wonder Guard. So if you are immune to entry hazards, you won't die just by switching into those. And ability Wonder Guard, because it's the only one it has. The nature, I would imagine these are defensive ones. Plus attack, minus defense. Oh, yeah. You don't need defense because you've got Wonder Guard. Yeah. So basically all in it on attack and speed. I don't know what the point of setting the IVs to 0 is, but you don't need them in any case. So it says, thanks to Wonder Guard, Shedinja is able to wall specific threats like Jinx, Nasty Plot Uxie, and Kling Clang lacking Toxic. With Protect, Shedinja is able to scout for specific coverage moves like Silvally Poison's Flamethrower and Alchemy's Mystical Fire, as well as scout choice-locked attackers like Sork, Rotom, and Thwackey. Toxic allows Shedinja to cripple switch-ins like Miltank, Articuno, Rapidash, and Tangela, and pairs well with Protect to rack up chip damage. Will-O-Wisp is less effective at weakening threats, but it lets Shedinja's partners take on physical attackers like Silvally Dark and Lycanroc N, that would switch into Shedinja while also punishing poison and steel types like Quillfish, Skuntank, and Klinklang. Alternatively, Shedinja can run Swords Dance to work as a late game win con with Shadow Sneak. Poltergeist is the preferred stab move due to being its strongest attacking move. Shadow Sneak is a viable alternative that can pick off weakened foes like Rotom and Frostlass and hit electric terrain sweepers after they've consumed their electric seed. However, it is much weaker and makes contact, which can be troublesome when facing Rocky Helmet users like Miltank and Quillfish and Flame Body users like Colossal and Rapidash. Heavy Duty Boots is the preferred item since it allows Shedinja to switch into entry hazards. So, are we feeling enlightened? I think we might be. And I see we've got Green Badger joining us in chat. So, welcome to me filling in time until Jen gets here. Let's see. It goes on to say, Shedinja works best on store teams that appreciate its ability to handle specific threats, notably stored power attackers. These teams carry walls such as Pyukyumuku, Sableye, and Altaria that can take advantage of the threats that force Shedinja out, like Sylvally Dark, Gurdur, and Tangela. Entry hazard control such as Altaria, Articuno, and Hatram is appreciated in these teams due to hazards being one of the best ways to force damage on Shedinja's teammates. Defensive sweepers like Alchemy and Spiritomb also make for great partners that can clean late game once the opposing team has been crippled and weakened enough by Shedinja and its teammates. Gunsky says none of these are real words. I think you'll find that there's lots of real words. Works, best, appreciate, hazard. These are all real words. And here we go. Yes, I think I will, in fact, send Johnny the link. And everyone in chat, make sure you say thank you to Johnny. He is the one who has saved you from the rest of this stream. So there he is. How you going, Johnny? I'm not hearing Johnny. What's going on? Is this my settings acting up again? Shouldn't be. Okay, I don't know why I can't hear Johnny. Yeah, and Gunsky says, I'd offer to come on to stop this, but, I don't want to. See, I knew you were a Pokemon fan. You want the education to continue. Mike says he can hear me. Yeah, I can't hear Johnny, though, so I don't know if he's just not at the keyboard or if there's an issue with... All right, well, Gunsky has asked for a link, so let's send him that. Hopefully I'll be able to hear you. I don't know. Oh, Johnny's muted, so maybe there was an issue there. So yes, I'm not sure what's going on with me not hearing Johnny. And Tia says he missed the Smogon article. You are in luck if Johnny is not able to be heard. Did I? Oh, I sent him the wrong link, apparently. That's me not being very smart. Okay, now you can join.
Testing.
Hey, I can hear you now.
Hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Johnny.
I followed the first rule of IT. I turned off my mic and turned it back on, and now we're here.
That works. I'm happy with that. But Tier is upset that he missed the Smogon article, so I'm afraid I am going to have to read it again.
Well, we can always move on to the next one. I'm sure there is something that is quite captivating that he would be able to.
Oh, yes. Well, we've covered Shedinja, so we just need to think what else. How about Gliscor? Everyone hates Gliscor except me. I think this is the coolest Pokemon. Well, Shedinja's cooler, but in terms of like actually using it in a match, I fucking love this thing.
We'll be more than happy to wait for you, Tier.
Yes. We'll put the article on hold until you get back. So how you been, Johnny?
Not too bad. It's been pretty busy. They're moving pretty much everyone in my equal to my position from my work. They're moving us all home.
And for some reason, StreamYard didn't make a ping sound at me, so I didn't notice that Gunsky had arrived. But yes, hello.
Well, you don't have the machine that goes ping.
I'm afraid not. I only have the Numberwang.
Hey Terry.
Hey, how you going?
I'm going okay. Johnny, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. How are you doing?
I'm doing just dandy. Yeah,
and I think we don't need the Pokemon article up if we have people to talk to.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll drop out when Jen arrives, and that way I can get on with my business of doing nothing.
As you wish. So yes, I don't really know. Oh, here we go. Jen has just said she'll be right there, so she should be here soon.
Yeah.
But yes, I don't know what there is to talk about. Really, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to what's been going on in the world of.
Yeah. Am I the only one who kind of just doesn't give a shit about America's involvement in Iran?
Oh, well, I mean, I've got even less reason to care. I'm not even American.
No, you're absolutely. I absolutely could not give a shit.
It's kind of like, yeah, it's another war. It's disappointing and all that, but I just kind of just don't care at all.
Yeah. Well, I do like that my timeline has been full of people who hate both Jews and Muslims, so that's been fun. Like that's been a big part of Israel is running the world. No, the Muslims are invading. Okay, I'll just hate both of them. I can find it in my black heart to hate both groups. And hey, Jen.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late.
That's
Hi,
all right.
Jen.
You missed the Smogon article. You'll have to watch the replay to learn about Pokemon.
No worries. Yep. I keep getting caught up in time lately. I'm just like, I'd like to blame the allergies. Since my nose got stuck up, but I'm like, stuffed up. I'm like,
Terry,
yeah, I'm supposed to do something.
Terry,
Yes.
So you play the Pokemon game. Does that translate at all to like the cards thing?
Well, I mean, not really, but I did play the card game as well.
So
At
there's
least
there's no overlap there, really.
Well, I mean, if you've got familiarity with the video games, you'll recognize the Pokemon. But beyond that, not really a lot of crossover because even like in the card game, even the weaknesses and resistances are different. So it's not like you can be like, oh, I know that, Charizard is weak to rock. Well, in the card game, he might not be. He might only be weak to water. So, it's a completely unrelated game except for the skin of Pokemon being applied to the card game to increase sales.
And Jen, how fares Canada these days?
Oh, what is this fairness? It's all about how can they make you bored, depressed, broke?
Yeah.
Well, that's just the West in general.
Yeah.
At best, it's just it's the not seeing an end to it thing. Like with you guys, whether or not you're in and out of liking Trump, because like my understanding is the last couple of weeks he's been having a stroke. I don't know. At least with him, there's still that sense of like you guys know things are wrong and there's the will to want to fix things, you know? So even if things don't complete with Trump, I think there's more than enough Americans who are like, yeah, this is bullshit. Let's not do this. Let's like kind of correct course. Canada, on the other hand, we have so many people who are willing to sell us out to everybody else that it's just it's overwhelming. So it's like anytime you get like a little feed of like, oh well, like, we've got a little bit of hope, and you follow it for a little bit, and then you realize, oh no, these are just grifters looking for money.
Of course,
So,
everyone is a grifter.
I will say I actually visited Canada recently. I went to Prince Edward Island, and I gotta say it wasn't as awful as I thought it was gonna be.
Only because you didn't get sick. If you got sick, we might not be talking to you right now.
If I got sick, I would have probably been asked to die.
Well, not asked. Not asked. They don't ask. They're just like, step this way, please.
You will die now.
Yes.
Face wall, comrade.
Exactly.
I mean, I would have picked that area anyway. Like, as much as I can throw a lot of shade at the Maritimes, there's a lot of things I could say that are really good about them too. Like for shade, it's usually to do with voting. Like they get way more votes than they should for the population that they have and how they contribute to the rest of the country. But at the same time, though, they're a really beautiful place with really lovely people.
I will say I didn't get to go to the Anne of Green Gables house, which I'm disappointed about. But whatever.
Yeah.
I also learned that if you are on Prince Edward Island, do not say anything bad about Anne of Green Gables. They will fuck it. It's like half their economy over there. There was a fucking museum. There's a museum, and then there's like a quasi gift shop museum, and then there's a chain of chocolate stores, and there's the local theater was putting on Anne of Green Gables musical.
I think what I should do is I should go there and wear a shirt that says the Gable should have been blue. I think they would love me. But yes, apparently
Terry Diamandis, Canadian war criminal.
Yes. Well, I mean, in chat, Tia says Johnny Somali was sentenced to 6 months prison labor in Korean. I think he means Korea. But I did hear a bit about that. I give so few shits about Johnny Somali that all I know is that he annoyed a lot of people in Asia. I don't even know exactly what he did. I just know that he pissed a lot of people off, and now I guess they're putting him in prison, which is good.
Just imagine like Logan Paul in the Suicide Forest, but like way worse.
Yeah.
Like nothing that would kill anybody, but a lot of stuff that disturbed people and disturbed the peace. And nobody really cares about Johnny Somali. They care more about what he represents, and everybody watching this, I think it was universal. Everybody just wanted the judge to throw the book at this little shit and put down this bizarre YouTube going over to a foreign nation and just fucking around.
Well, making a nuisance of himself, and the Asians have a very different sensibility to the Americans, so I can imagine that they would have found it even more unacceptable. Like in America, it would have been like, "Who's this fucking dickhead?" Whereas in somewhere like Japan or Korea, it's like, "No, you don't do this."
I think everyone's suffering from different forms of fatigue, but I need to chase fame everywhere I go, people, that's a really big fatigue for a lot of people. Because it's not that they don't like tourists. They don't, you're just being a jackass in the middle of nowhere for no fucking reason, and the people around you can't understand you, and it's like, I don't like obnoxious people.
The thing is that if you look at what he did, I didn't see much that you couldn't see on a New York subway on any day ending in Y. But he's just so fucking annoying that everybody is just like, whatever. Just throw. What's the Asmongold thing? Have him go to a prison where he breaks rocks with other rocks.
He breaks rocks into smaller rocks. Yeah,
breaks rock into smaller rocks.
He's not wrong. Like, there's so many people with nothing better to do, and yeah, I understand the thrill of chasing the online thing, but like they become more of a nuisance to the public than they are a benefit. And when you're like that, it's like, well, we'll find you something to do. How about break some smaller rocks with bigger rocks? Have fun with that.
Well, I know that if he were to go to, say, the Philippines and do this stuff, or Thailand, I know for a fact that we would never hear of Johnny Somali ever again after that.
Oh yeah, I mean, you think South Korea is bad? Imagine if he pulled shit like this in North Korea.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why he didn't. even he's not that stupid.
I don't know. The way he acted, I mean, he was fucking warned. Yeah, he had the Yakuza on his ass at some point, I think.
Nice. He got to get beaten up by Kiryu. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
And 2 additional ports. One, Tyr was right. I'm sure they did say it in Korean. So there's that.
Technically true, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. And going back with the Japan thing, there's a guy who I've been because he doesn't have a Twitter, so anytime I've tagged him, I've just tagged Sora Luna.
Oh, okay.
So he goes by Sora the Troll on YouTube,
right?
And he puts together these clips about interactions with, I guess with to put it politely, would be more outgoing individuals.
Yeah.
And a majority of people in Japan would experience something like this, and they're just kind of like, can you go away? I don't care. Like, it's rude, but yeah, like, unless you really get invasive, they aren't really gonna react. They're just gonna be like, the fuck's this weirdo?
Yeah. 6 in chat said Vitali is doing his best to go back to prison. I don't know who Vitali is. I've heard the name, but I don't know anything about him.
I think that we should take people who do live stream hand cameras. I think we should put them all in prison.
Yes. In the words of Leaflet, put them in the box.
Anyway, 4 people is a bit much for a stream like this, so I'm going to tap out.
All right. See you later, Gunsky.
Peace out.
Bye, Jack.
Bye-bye.
Eventually.
There he is.
It's like, where'd that button go?
Yes. And yes, 6 is mentioning that he invented a holiday based on allergies. He did. He calls it Marchmas. And he's apparently been to Alberta and British Columbia. I have not been to Canada, so...
I have also not been to Canada.
I'm surprised. Aren't you, like, right next to Canada, though? Cool.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, he's right underneath
basement.
my area.
Yeah, you could just, like, sneak across the border and...
I have a direct shot to... Coots is what it's called here, which is a border town. Yeah, Sweetgrass, which goes into Coots.
Yeah. Okay. Because Coots is large, and then you reach the Kootenai Lake, and that's large too.
Yes, I have been to very few parts of America. I've been to like California and like there was like LA, San Francisco, and San Diego. And then I also saw Vegas for a few days, but that's
so you visited everywhere that would remind you of home.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean that's where my family went, and I went with my family. So
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
that's where I ended up. I don't know. I'm not much of a traveler. Like for me, I don't get anything from seeing sights. So when I went to Italy, everyone was like, "Ooh, look at the Colosseum." I was like, "Okay, yeah, it's there. It looks like the pictures. I don't know what I'm meant to be getting excited about." I would only travel for the purposes of meeting people. So, like, if hypothetically there was all of the minions, well, not all of the minions, like the minions that I like, said we're gonna do a get together in some part of America, you could maybe persuade me to travel for the purposes of meeting those like those guys, or if when my sister lives in Queensland, so I could maybe move over to like visit her for a few days. I would travel for that purpose, but I would not travel for the sake of looking at scenery because I don't see any value in it.
Well, when you're going from place to place and it's about scenery, it's not really about the seeing. It's more about like, what is this actually like? And sometimes it's a hit and a miss, and you're like, oh, this was nice. And then other times you're like, oh, like it's not like you guys don't have humidity, but you go to Georgia or like Florida and you're like, oh, they have humidity in the way that like your shower room has humidity.
Yes.
So maybe you know what that's like, but like, do you want to do that?
Blue Ice Cream says Terry is difficult to amuse. Actually, I am. I think because I've watched a lot of TV. I mean, not compared to other people, but I've seen a decent amount of movies. I've played a lot of video games. For something to amuse me, it's got a pretty high bar to clear because I've seen so much that it's unlikely that whatever you've got is going to be something new and engaging, and not just, oh yeah, I get it. This is one of those kind of things.
And Green was saying that to get to Canada, he'd have to cross a lake. Yeah, those big lakes or something, aren't they?
Yes. And Frosted says, I'm blind. No, well, fortunately, I'm not. I would have a very difficult time playing video games if I was blind. And Gunsky says Terry famously hates Hammer. Well, I mean, of course. Why do you think I haven't let him on the stream in a couple of months? And Frosted says there'll be a behind the music style special about all the drama that went on behind the scenes of Hammer's streams. Oh boy.
Yeah.
On VH1's behind the streams.
Yes.
Yeah, most of the drama behind the scenes on Hammer streams is basically where the bubble shapes are and whether or not they're shaped properly.
Yes.
I'll be honest.
And also, what music is going to go on the poll?
Which we haven't done in a while.
Oh yeah, I don't know how to do OBS. I'm not going to start learning. So if you want music polls, you better do something to make Hammer recover even faster because it won't be with me.
Maybe we should make that the poll for when he comes back. Is like everybody's, welcome back song, like whatever your favorite version of a welcome back song is.
The theme song to Welcome Back, Cotter.
Yep.
It's got welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Written right into the lyrics. Behind the Minions, Hammer spent hours talking about handbrake and compressing 4K movies. That I can believe. And Blue Eyed Scream says I chased Hammer away so I could take over. No. The sooner Hammer comes back, the sooner I can stop doing this. This is foisted upon me. This is not me, undertaking military takeover. This is you got to do what you got to do.
This is more like the least likely thing you wanted to have happen.
And Six says he likes Banff National Forest, and I'm assuming Banff is in Canada, but I just think that's a very funny word.
I know the places that he's talking about. Like Banff is. So I'll be honest with you. You really got to pick the right time of the year, because if you go at the wrong time of the year, Banff will be covered in snow. But if you pick the nice time of the year, it has some of the most beautiful pictures, scenery you'll ever see. It is literally like the camping city of Canada. Like you go there and it's honestly the easiest way to get into like trail territory if you're into that kind of thing. But like the town itself, yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do there. Like basically whatever hot tub you want to visit, museums, a lot of, native history, that kind of stuff. But it's the mountains and the water is you'll find like shades of blue and green where you're like, huh. You would think that was like tropical or something. I'm like, no.
And Frosted says if it wasn't in the stick of truth, he wouldn't believe Banff was a real place.
I didn't write that right. I hate my typos.
In the stick of truth, you do in fact go to Canada, and
well, it would because
I had forgotten that Banff was the place in Canada that you go to.
Yeah, it was probably all about like beavers and moose and stuff, and so yeah, okay.
Because I don't know if you guys had it in America, but in Australia we had like a cleaning product called Bam, and the dirt is gone. And so every time I see Banff, I think Banff, and the dirt is gone. Frosted says it's a sound effect you'd see in a comic book. Yeah, I can see that. Like in the Adam West Batman movie, he punches something and goes Banff.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
They had that one with Boff too.
They did.
See, and I hear the birds in your background, Terry, but if it was me in your position, I would make it worse because I would work really hard at trying to train the birds to say annoying things like walkies.
Yeah. Well,
and cookie.
They're not my birds. They're just outside my window.
Right? Well, that's what makes it perfect is because they're wild birds, so they'll just be outside somebody else's window. And, if somebody else has a dog and all of a sudden they're like walkies.
Yeah.
Cookie?
Well, I don't know how I'd be able to train them. Like I'd have to catch them or something.
No, you just
climb off the tree.
Offer them food, and they come up to you for food, and you just repeat words.
I guess. And do the iDubbbz say what I can't say on Minions?
Yeah, that guy moved to one of our cities. I at first didn't know which city it was, and then someone told me it was Edmonton. And I'm not doxing the fucker. It's just those people put their information out way too easily. And all I got to say about it is I hope that they went in at the time of the year. So Edmonton is one of our hippie cities, guys. Everybody has their major cities where all the hardcore liberal hippies go. Ours like to do nudist bicycle. Nudist bicycling. So like for at least a week, they all ride around in a certain area, fuck naked. And naturally you're hoping for good looking people, but no, they're old as fuck.
Of course.
I hope that was their neck of the woods. I'm just saying, for diversity's reasons, I hope they got to see old people balls everywhere.
And where is it? Mike says, "Are those magpies?" I have no idea. They're outside. I don't go where the birds are. So,
yeah, we have this impression that your magpies are like psycho.
Oh yeah, they can be. There's a lot of people who recommend putting like an ice cream container on your head and painting eyes on the back so that if they swoop at you, they don't swoop at your face. But I don't know. I don't go outside, so they could be anything. They could be any kind of bird, but I can't offer any information there. And Gunsky says, "Remember when iDubbbz was a person?" I mean, not really. I remember that one thing with Tanner Mongoose where he said, the word I can't say on Minions, and that's kind of it. I don't know anything else he's done besides that.
Her crying and then becoming a victim.
Yeah.
And then that's the last I heard of either of them.
Yeah. And Foster says, has anyone had a more pathetic downfall than iDubbbz? Probably. I mean, it happens all the time that people are at the top and then they throw it all away and become pathetic. Oh, and Six wants me to train the birds to say, you ever played Deponia? That would be good. Blue White Scream says she never watched him. Yeah, I never watched iDubbbz. The only reason I know he said the mongoose thing is because of Monkey.
Yeah,
he did a video on Tanner Mongoose, and that was a clip that he played during the video. So I know that happened. But other than that, all I know about iDubbbz is that one thing, and that his wife's a whore. That's it. That's my entire knowledge of iDubbbz.
I did happen upon this this video. This guy who was brandishing a gun in the school, and the principal came out and just tackled him to like a bench until he dropped the gun.
Yeah, it was actually.
This other guy comes in and just flags everyone with it. I'm like, as he's running away with the gun, I'm like, at least you can try and keep everyone else safe when you're trying to get rid of it. I understand, in the high panic situation, but yeah, this guy came out and just tackled this guy.
Sure.
Held him down on the on the bench.
And
that's pretty ballsy.
Yeah. Six says Tanner Mongus's expression was priceless. Yeah. I mean, that's, like I said, that's one thing I know about him. And Gunsky says that Sam Hyde finished the job. I also know nothing about Sam Hyde. I know that people blame him for all the terrorist activity. Like, anytime there's like anything bad happens, it's like a Sam Hyde joke saying that he did it, but I don't know much about him. I know he did a video saying he wanted to box Hassan Piker. Again, that's kind of it. I don't know a lot about these people.
A lot of them are scummy. I'll be real. Like, a lot of them really are.
Yeah,
it's funny that, like, and I'm not meaning to glaze the guy, because no, he actually does have a lot of his own issues. Out of the lot of them, Asmund being like the most normal is why people keep going to watch him. It's like, no, I don't think his house setup is normal. He doesn't even think it's normal.
No.
But at least he knows that. And he's not pretending like it's,
The only reason I ever started watching Asmongold is because of V. V kept talking about Asmongold, and it was like, eventually YouTube recommended one of his videos. I was like, well, I might as well just see what this guy's like, because V keeps talking about him. I was like, okay, he's actually pretty good. So I do watch his videos now. I wouldn't want to watch an 8-hour stream or however long he streams for every day. That would be insane. But, for a 20-minute clip from his stream, that's fine.
And it's kind of really sad to have to say this with like everybody who speaks about Asmund. I don't watch all of his stuff to know if I agree with him on everything. So no, I don't agree with him on everything, because that's just not possible. But there are times where, I do.
He advocates for universal basic income, and like, I'm just never going to agree with him on that under any circumstances. I think that's a absolutely horrible idea. But I mean, he's entitled to his opinion. If he thinks that's a good idea, because industrial AI is like automating jobs and no one's going to have any work. I don't think that's going to happen. But if he thinks universal basic income is a good idea to offset the job losses, then I'll just disagree with him. Frosted says there's a bunch of streamers he only started watching because leftists started calling them Nazis. Yeah, I mean,
if that's how you get attention.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they pay the leftists to do it just to promote the stream, because there is no way any sane person doesn't realize the Streisand effect, and that if you go around saying nobody watch Asmongold. He's a Nazi. Everyone's going to be like, Asmon who? Oh, I got to check this guy out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And UBI is a bunch of comic gobbledygook. It absolutely is. It's a terrible idea. I can see no situation under which it is a good idea. And I'm just going to have to disagree with Asmon on it.
Which I think it's better. One of the things I've noticed from like watching in his chats, he's actually not opposed to somebody else presenting their own opinion and stuff. It's just really about whether or not you're wasting his time, you're wasting the chat's time, whether or not you actually have an argument to back it up. And he might still not agree with you. And that has to be the part where you're just like, okay, well, you just both don't agree, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I think it's a bad sign if any two people agree on absolutely everything, then at least one of them isn't thinking for themselves. So there should be something that you disagree with. If you take you and any other person on Earth, you should have at least one disagreement. Otherwise, there's a problem, I think.
It's also from... Okay, this is me feeding into it a little bit because I haven't watched him for forever, you know, but I think he is responding a lot of the times to the leftist style of debate, which is like a destiny where instead of actually focusing on the subject matter and having a proper conversation about it, because he's not really into debates. It's about a conversation, really.
Right.
Like he's just talking about his opinions and things like that.
Yeah.
But with the leftists, they word salad everything because they don't actually have an answer or response to anything. Like they don't really have any background on a lot of the stuff that even Hassan talks about. And Hassan doesn't even have a background in a lot of the shit that he talks about. So they'll go in and be like, okay, well, I'm going to stir up shit in Baldy's space because that's what they do. They can't just have a debate. They have to call them names. And he's actually taking that on as like a funny thing, you know, like, he rolls his eyes at it now, but he's like, you know, I've lost more hair, you know, like, or I haven't lost that much hair, you know, if you've taken too much hair away.
If you told me that there's a streamer that everyone calls Baldy, I would have assumed they were talking about Tectone, not Asmon.
Right?
Like, Tectone is bald. He shaves his head. Asmon still has, a decent amount of hair. Obviously, he is balding, but the way people talk about it, you think that he's completely bald like Tectone.
Yeah, it's just funny how the internet works with memes and Asmon memes, and you know, like sometimes he doesn't, like you could tell when he thinks something is a little bit gross, but I can handle people more when they can take a sense of humor to themselves to a certain degree. But at the same time, though, you shouldn't have to take shit from people because they think it's funny, you know?
Yeah, of course. Well, that's one of the things I like about Asmon is he'll pull people up from the chat and he'll just talk to them. Yeah. Then, like, he'll be various levels of confrontational depending on how confrontational the chatter was. But he'll change his mind. He's willing to be convinced if you can convince him. It's just that outright hostility is just going to get you banned. So,
which it should. I think it should because it's actually a lot of that behavior that I think has been holding us back in like a lot of sectors in life is just being so angry in a conversation or discussion where, you might not agree on everything in it.
No. Like I said, I don't think you should agree with anyone 100%. There's got to be something you disagree on, otherwise there's a problem.
Sorry.
Six says it's like Greenland versus Iceland. I'm not sure what he's referring to there. I'm not, if you could clarify, that'd be interesting. I'm not sure what point Six is trying to make there. But Frosted says he only ever heard about Wendigoon because some moron called him a white supremacist. I've heard the name Wendigoon. I don't know much about him. I think he does. Oh, does he do like conspiracy theories or something like that? Or I don't know. I've seen the name, but I've never watched his stuff.
I think a lot of that is. I think a lot of that is Twitch culture, Frosted. I don't really use Twitch very often. You know,
Well-
so it's kind of watching what, because most of the people he's pulling up in his chat, that's his Twitch chat.
Well, also, I'm going to have to defend Asman on this one. Because of Twitch terms of service, if someone in the chat does something against the rules, Asman himself gets punished. So you do have to be ban happy under those conditions, because Asman doesn't want to get himself in trouble just because some dickhead in chat was an arsehole. So as long as they have that rule in place, I think Asman has to be far more ban happy than I would tolerate under different conditions, because I mean it's his livelihood at stake.
The other thing too, this is what I've learned from Kick, because Asman is pretty much, that's the first time I started watching him was on Kick.
Right.
Kick itself has a built-in mod.
Yes,
that
it does.
That absolutely
Sucks.
does. Yeah. I'm really glad that he's got a space on Rumble now. Because
Yes.
like there were times where like my joke wasn't even spicy. Like this is like a granny level joke.
Yeah.
But okay.
No, I joined up. I tried to sign up to Kick because of Mizuki, but because I'm in Australia, I have to verify myself to Kick to get an account. So my connection mysteriously became American during the sign up process. I'm not sure how that happened, but I was able to trick it. But I do have to make sure the VPN is on. Otherwise, if I try and go to Kick, it'll just say, "Oh, hi, your region requires identity verification. Click here to verify." I say, "No, I will not be doing that." But the problem is, once I've seen that screen, I can't just turn the VPN on and go back. It's like it takes like 3-4 days before it forgets that there was an Australian attempt to connect to it under that login. So yeah, it's very, very annoying. I've got to be very, very careful with turning the VPN on.
Which VPN do you use?
Brave. So if I go into
VPN
the settings
itself.
Yeah. So if I go into the settings for the browser, you can sign up to Brave VPN, and I didn't want to go shopping around for what's actually the best one. So it's just like, I'm going to be using the browser anyway. I might as well use the one that's built into the thing. So yeah, I just give them $10 a month, and now I've got a VPN, and I can actually see quote unquote adult content on Twitter, even though none of it is actually porn. And I can do dangerous criminal activity like going to Kick and watching Mizuki stream, or I don't know, crazy things like that.
Hey, Keishal.
Oh yeah, hi Keishal. Then yeah, Six says that I've been lying to everyone. I'm a 17-year-old from Florida. I kind of wish I was, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to be 17 years old again, but Florida would be better than here, because I wouldn't have to pretend. I wouldn't have to mask my country's identity to use the internet. But yes, being 17 would be awful. So if you can change that to maybe 30s, in my 30s and in Florida, that would be better. I don't want to be 17 again. But I would happily shave 15 years off my age, given the chance.
Yeah, 17 wasn't terrible for me, but I wouldn't want to go back there.
No, for me, anything under 18 means that I wouldn't be considered an adult. So that's just instantly off the table. And so yeah, I'd be like, even in the 20s would be fine. But yeah, 20s or 30s. Because I'm 45 now, so I would knock some years off.
Actually, 17 would be perfect because that's before when I separated my meniscus and my ACL majorly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was to the point where like I couldn't run or even walk at a brisk pace without my leg popping.
Ooh, that sounds bad.
And I didn't get it checked out for a couple of years. And
That's also not great.
when my doctor, I had an MRI done, and my doctor is like, "There's too much scar tissue. We can't see why your knee is acting the way it is. So
Oh,
we're gonna have to do exploratory surgery, and then just repair as it is." And he goes, "So would you prefer? You can either do full anesthesia, or you can just do an epidural." And I go, "Well, as I don't know what an epidural is, like what
Isn't that what they give
would
pregnant
be
women?
yeah. And well, anyone who is going to have their surgery done on the lower half of their body, it just cuts off the feelings below the
Okay.
waist."
Okay.
And he goes, "Well, if you get an epidural, you'll be awake and you'll essentially feel us like tugging on your legs."
No, not that.
And I go, "So unconscious, you mean?" Like,
Yeah.
I will just put me out, wake me up when I'm done.
That sounds
'Cause-
horrible. I would not want to be awake during surgery.
Right. And I'm like, "Nope, I'm not doing that. So you can knock me out." And as they brought me back to, my doctor is in the room, and I come to, and he goes, "I don't know how you were even walking
Yeah.
with the amount of damage that you had with your leg, because yeah, my lateral meniscus was completely blown out, to the point where there was nothing there.
God.
My medial meniscus was folded into the joint into like a little ball, and my ACL was ripped off at the base.
Ugh.
And then when I was going through physical therapy, the doctors were, because there is a supported muscle that's on the side of your legs that keeps your knee from like swinging to the left or to the right.
Right.
And then there's a muscle in the front that goes down that keeps it from hyperextending.
Okay.
And the muscle that goes down my leg is just because it with those meniscus there, that supports the muscle that does that. And he goes, with that damage done, the muscle essentially became useless.
That's not good.
And so the muscle that's supposed to like be the support there is essentially just vegetative.
Ugh.
And then the muscles that are on the side of the leg are doing the work of the muscles on the side of the leg and the front. So your body has taught yourself how to walk when it shouldn't be.
Right. Okay.
And he's like, to be fair, I've never seen anything like that in my time.
Yeah. And Frosted was saying he was trying very hard not to make a joke about you having a wounded knee. It's yes. I have fortunately not had any major medical issues. The worst I've had is like eczema all over my body, which was annoying. But nothing life-threatening, nothing that would be like extremely painful, just annoyingly itchy. That's the worst I've had to suffer. So pretty lucky at my end.
I got lucky a little bit early in life. Not to say I didn't hurt myself. I just I was really into gymnastics as a kid. And I hurt myself in a sprain in such a way where I pulled out of it entirely because it took one kid not putting the horse back properly with the mat for me to try to do a flip over it and land wrong. Whereas like, oh, I have to trust other people around me and myself to check everything and just be paranoid. And I wrote off gymnastics because if you survive something bad enough, gymnastics can fuck your life up. yeah, it is one of those types. So I'm like, maybe not. Ice skating's kind of like that too. Like, it's why I don't have grief with the hockey players. Like, there are just some sports where I'm like, I can acknowledge a little bit extra level of danger that's to it. And Canadians are really into extreme sports. Like, I know Americans are too, but we're a smaller community. So it's just, if you've got mountains to jump off of and you've got a bike or a board or, some skates, skis, whatever the fuck method you want to do it.
I'm just going to say, if you want to jump off a mountain, I think you should. I think that is Darwinism. I think that is natural selection. If you're the kind of person that wants to jump off a mountain, I say do it, and then either you'll survive and you'll be the kind of genetic stock that we need to make superhumans in the future, or you'll die, and then the IQ of the population will increase. So either way, there's a positive outcome.
I got that from an American comedian, and to be fair, he was trying to describe parasailing. Yeah, if you're the kind of dumbass to tie yourself to a kite and then jump off of a cliff, I don't want to pay tax dollars saving you.
Yeah, same principle applies to jumping out of a plane. I think that's equally intelligent as jumping off a mountain.
But gymnastics and those kind of sports, like I do admire them a lot because it does take a lot of bravery to do a lot of that stuff. Yeah. And not everything is that bad, like it's like every other sport. Some things are more difficult than others, and I like to acknowledge the ones that are more difficult. But when they're done wrong, you just can't unsee them. You're like, oh no, I don't know, I'm good. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering that I've sworn off ever seeing a doctor ever again, it's probably wise that I don't go doing gymnastics or things that could cripple me. That's probably not a great plan for my life.
It's like encounters in the ocean, people get terrified when they see sharks. Orcas will do it because they're bored.
I don't go where the wild animals are, so I'm safe from sharks. I don't go anywhere near water.
If the worst you have to deal with are wild parrots, you're fine.
Yes. Yeah, there's annoying birds, but even those can't get through the glass door that's separating me from the outside world.
I can appreciate that. I think a kookaburra sounds cute because I only hear them when they come on to a YouTube clip.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine waking up to that every day.
Oh God, that'd be awful.
Yeah, it would be.
It's I don't know what kind of birds. I mean, obviously they're not kookaburras. Kookaburras have a very distinct sound, but
yeah.
I don't know what kind of birds they are. They're just outside birds.
You're good. I'm not meaning to pick on you for it. Sometimes I've got magpies fighting.
I've never claimed to be an ornithologist, so I'm happy to admit my ignorance on the subject of birds. It's not a source of shame. I don't know about what birds are outside. So it looks like we are coming up on the end of the show. So thanks to Johnny for saving me. Thanks to Gunsky for bailing on me in the middle of the stream, you jerk. And thanks to Jen for being here as always. And also thanks to chat for, giving us a reason to do this. It would be a bit pointless if there was no one in chat. So
I need to have a chat with Jack about not using Canada to send smoke signals to Johnny I know they need to be really big so he understands what it is that you're trying to portray, but like,
All right.
They're too big. They're too big.
I will say see you guys later. You guys say goodbye, and then I'll end the stream.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.